Arsenal's superiority in this season's Premier League, in my opinion, is there for all to see. I feel like there is some anxiety amongst Arsenal fans, perhaps even some anger amongst Arsenal fans because of certain results. But to make the point about how clear they are and why they're going to win the league, I thought that we could conduct an experiment. And who better to do it with than the wonderful Turkish. Turkish, sir, thank you so much.
No worries, brother.
I've got an idea, got a plan.
Yeah?
Strategy.
You got the biscuits out as
I've
well?
got the biscuit, mate. This is it. You know you're a VIP guest when they come out. I've got an idea to try and prove quite how strong Arsenal are.
Okay.
We're going to compare Arsenal. We're going to compare the second string of Arsenal to everyone else in the Premier League. So we will build Arsenal's second team.
Yep.
And from there we will go. The reason that I thought of this, the reason why I thought this would be a good way to go is I had a conversation on TalkSport recently where I actually said, your second team is stronger than most teams. Your second team.
Yeah.
And then I thought it's actually quite a good idea to try and
explore
it.
Yeah,
because what I've noticed, obviously some results for Arsenal have been fairly underwhelming and there have been opportunities that haven't been taken. You watch Man City drop points to Brighton, you then drop points to Liverpool. You watch Man City drop points to Manchester United, you then drop points to Nottingham Forest. And I've sensed an element of anxiety amongst Arsenal fans. What I think has surprised me, I empathise with. You should be anxious. It's Man City. The anger surprised me. I was on air after the Forest game, fuming. Some were fuming. So I thought, let's now explore it and try and say, look, this is why you're clear.
Yeah.
So where did you sit on that? Were you angry after Forest?
Frustrated is the best word to use.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
I struggle to understand how someone can be angry in the position we're in.
I agree.
And this is coming from probably one of the angriest Arsenal fans that have been doing content for years. I think we're in a position where it was frustrating because it was a chance. Both games, in my opinion, is a chance to get ever so closer to taking it out of City's reach, right? I think a 4-game swing kills it off.
Yeah.
And by now it should have been a 4-game swing.
Yeah. I guess that's the thing that I will concede you're right on. Considering how good you've been this season and how bad they've been this season, it should be a heavier points gap than 7 points.
Yeah, I mean, City put that run together and then we started dropping points and they came within 2 points of us. So it became a conversation again. But we've been head and shoulders above them this season. You know, even when it was 2 points, I was asking myself how a couple drop points and they go on a run. And let's not forget, this is Pep Guardiola. You know, since Fergie, the greatest manager, and some might say even greater. So you can never write them off until it's 4 games, in my opinion. Because this is not the City of old, and I think Pep's struggling to work it all out as well. So, we've got an advantage to take. And because we're fighting on multiple fronts, the sooner you can kill off some competitions, the better.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I completely agree with that. And again, I do understand why there is an anxiety. You were, I think, 7 or 8 points clear in April, May. I know they had a game in hand, but you didn't win the league that year. So I do get where it comes from. But let's have a look at this second string now. I think the obvious place to start would be the keeper. And Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yep.
Kepa Arrizabalaga, I was quite scathing about during his time at Chelsea. I didn't rate him. But he was a world record. I think we paid a world record fee for him.
He still is the most expensive goalkeeper.
It was a world record fee. And obviously we kind of panic bought him because Thibaut Courtois left in those circumstances. But as a second string keeper, you are going to really struggle to find a better keeper than him.
Yeah.
Do you agree? Like, how can you possibly have a situation where you have a better goalkeeper than Kepa Arrizabalaga who is ready to sit on a bench?
I agree. You know, more often than not, for my second keeper, I'm just looking at who's a free agent and who's got the experience. Because I don't, I'm old school. So the first choice keeper for me plays the main competitions, which is Premier League, Champions League, FA Cup. So Carabao is for the second choice keeper. Yeah. We've got Kepa now, which, listen, at the time, it's another ex-Chelsea guy. But it was a 5 million transfer after a great Bournemouth loan for him. I think that went well for him last season.
And also, when you think over the years of like good second choice keepers, they're kind of this level at the best. I don't know, Chelsea's second string at one point we had Mark Schwarzer.
Yeah.
Good keeper.
Yeah.
But kind of the same sort of level. Maybe you'd argue Schwarzer was a touch better than Arrizabalaga, but maybe you wouldn't. So I think it's kind of that level, Mark Poom. Yeah. It's that level of keeper to be a second string
very,
keeper.
Very comfortable. And in terms of modern day football, Kepa knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he does.
So
very
that's
experienced.
Important.
I don't think you're going to get a better keeper. Also, to demonstrate it, Very few clubs, if any, in the Premier League have a better second choice keeper than Kepa Arrizabalaga.
Yeah.
And he'd start for a lot of clubs. So again, there's a way of demonstrating, firstly, an excellent second choice keeper. Second choice right back is Ben White.
Yeah. And he starts for the majority of Premier League. A fit and firing Ben White starts for, dare I say, the 19 other clubs.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I mean, in the position that he plays, he wouldn't start for Chelsea, but he would start for Chelsea in a different position. He'd be better than our centre halves.
No, but Reece James is in midfield now.
If you see Reece James as a midfielder, then
this season
tough.
majority.
Yeah.
But
If you see Reece James as a midfielder,
only Munoz, but he's a right wing back, so it's a bit different.
Mate, would Ben White start for England as a centre half? He certainly would have done, like at previous tournaments. But even now, Gahey and White.
Again, this is a Ben White we're talking about. That's 18 months into inconsistent football, injuries.
But whenever you call on him,
solid. And he's got the character of the man as well is important.
He was great.
He's a bit of old school as well. I like that about him. So I think if he was fit, if the last 18 months continued the way the previous 18 months continued, you're right. I think he starts for England.
Did you see him getting annoyed with Madueke? Did you see that?
Yeah.
Just cross the ball.
Ben White just plain and simple. Just get it done. And when he plays, he overlaps well. And when he gets into those positions, he puts the.
I think he's an excellent player, Ben White.
So do I.
There was a time when I really didn't like him over the England stuff. But even when I wasn't liking him, the reason why I didn't like him so much was because I felt so let down because I thought he would add to England's opportunity.
22, 23, I think he was second to Trippier as right back. 23, 24, I think he was second to Trent as right back. And then the fall off began because of the injuries. Yeah. And since we haven't seen him.
But there was a period. Do you remember that period when you went to Dubai and he came back? I think it was the year when Emery beat you at the Emirates that didn't win the league. But you went on an amazing run.
24,
you went on an amazing run. You were the best team in the country for that. The league was lost the previous calendar year in West Ham or whatever. But he was not only the best right back in the country, he was the best player in the best team in the country. He was your...
It was
so
one
I was
of them,
watching him, I was like, this guy's unbelievable.
Yeah, he was... Listen, what Timber's doing now, Ben White was doing then.
Yeah.
Timber's helped us forget, not forget, because that sounds harsh.
Yeah.
But if Timber's, stepped in and stepped up to a level where, Ben White is now deemed the second string, the backup.
Which is, and he, as you said, he starts for basically every team.
I think so.
I starts for Man City.
Yeah.
100%.
I struggle to think of it. He starts for Liverpool, starts 100%. For United.
100%.
Chelsea was saying James is a midfielder.
But he starts in Chelsea's team, of course. Yeah. Ben White was a Chelsea player.
He moves into centre-back. Yeah. You're right, yeah.
So Ben White, over the other side, Lewis Skelly.
Yeah.
Mate.
Yeah. All right. Listen, he hasn't, shown his level this season, but he's a youngster. He burst onto the scene the season prior and really set a high level. Premier League first, Champions League next, internationally as well. If he was playing games for us, he'd probably still be England's first choice left back. It's the lack of game time and probably the performances that go with it, with the limited minutes he's had, that has lost him that space. We're talking about our backup left back here, and some might argue that he's third in line for that position because of the flexibility of other players. But Lewis Skelly's a top player.
Top player. Well, I was arguing that he should start for England. I mean, he was starting for England. It wasn't only my argument. It wasn't my position. He was starting
Lewis
for
Hall just stepped it. Lewis Hall continued the trajectory. So I understand that.
It's a very difficult one, though, isn't it? Because on some level, if you're doing really well for Bournemouth, or you're doing really well when given an opportunity for Arsenal, but you're sitting on Arsenal's bench, what's a better achievement? I genuinely mean this. What's a better achievement? Is it a harder thing to start for Bournemouth and play well? To start for even Newcastle? Yeah. I would argue that your level is higher to be on the champions bench than it is to start for a more average team.
Probably. I think in modern day, Rory, you can help me out here as well. I think a lot more emphasis is put on how much minutes a player is getting at the club.
Yeah.
It was always taken into consideration, but there was, there's more focus on it now. And that's not to say it's wrong, because, on one side you look at it and it's right, but the other side, what you're saying is he's amongst the team that might be going on to be champions and more this season. What does that do for you?
If you were sitting on Man City's bench when they won a treble, you're obviously a better player than someone who was starting that same season every single game for Tottenham.
Yeah,
it's harder to get on. Man City's bench at various points have had Riyad Mahrez sitting on.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So no, I think again, Lewis Skelly, excellent player, starts for most teams in the league as a left back. Bearing in mind that's not even his position. Yeah. Centre halves, What are we talking here?
Mosquera and Hincapié.
Did we go a bit early on how good they were?
Yeah, I mean,
there's a vulnerability to look. They're centre halves, right? It's so hard and they're young.
Yeah,
but there was a time when people were saying, if Saliba gets injured, it doesn't matter. In comes Mosquera. That's not quite the story, is it?
I think it is defensively.
Right.
I think what we lost with Gabriel offensively, it cost us more than defense. I think Hincapié's had a couple moments, right?
Yeah.
Mosquera hasn't. I think Mosquera's been pretty much flawless aside from maybe a misplaced pass in his 4th game for us, where it was a crazy pass at that, but it didn't cost us. Mosquera's been pretty flawless. Hincapié's had a couple moments.
Yeah.
But he's also a Ecuador international, and he's had hella clean sheets for them. He was part of our clean sheet run as well when teams weren't getting a shot on target. He was in there because we've had to rotate a lot early on in the season. So for me, did we jump the gun or did everyone jump the gun? I think when people were talking about beating Chelsea's record, not too long ago.
That way,
so jumping the gun is part of football now. Are they going to be invincible? Are they going to break Chelsea's record? Are they going to do 100 points? Are these defenders capable to? Everything is very hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. Perfect. No, that conversation went really early.
Yeah.
Like we were 8 games in and people were talking about breaking a record. Like, wait, what are you on about? All it takes that 15 goal is one bad day and suddenly you can't do it anymore.
100%. 100%.
So, but he's a very good player in Hincapié.
He is. And again, he's got that kind of South American grit bite about him as well, the aggression. I like that. Mosquera as well. I think Mosquera's been quality. He's probably surprised me, more so than Hincapié, because Hincapié came from a Leverkusen side that went invincible. Yeah. He was a big part of that. An Ecuador side that, I believe they have qualified for the World Cup or on the cusp of it. I can't remember, but they're there or thereabouts. Mosquera came in as a young guy, that contract running down at Valencia. Why didn't no one nab him beforehand? We got him for a very good price, and every time he stepped on that pitch for us, I mean, I'm happy with it.
Yeah. What about in terms of the conversation though? How good? Like, this isn't the same as Ben White, where we go, he starts for every other club in the country.
No.
Hincapié is good, but how good?
Hincapié probably starts.
Starts at Chelsea.
He probably starts for the majority.
It's amazing,
I'd say he starts for City left back.
Mm.
Nico O'Reilly's been doing it over there. He's not a left back, so I think he starts for them. I think he starts for Liverpool. Kerkez hasn't, shone. And Robertson's, legend, Premier League legend, but he's seen better days. I think he starts for Chelsea. He starts for Tottenham.
Yeah.
And from there, you're talking about the majority of clubs then, because there might be a couple here.
Yeah, there's a couple where, like, you'd go, for example, Konza's a better player.
Yep.
You'd go maybe Lacroix, maybe, but it is still the top.
Based on experience in the league, It is still top. But it's tight. I mean, you give Hincapié a run. Don't forget this is his first year in the league as well. So we're comparing him to players that have played at least a couple.
Yeah. So what we're looking at here, you're looking at Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal, Ben White and Lewis Skelly as the 2 fullbacks, with Hincapié and Mosquera as the 2 centre halves.
Solid.
It's a really good back line, isn't it?
Yeah, I'd
this
be
is
happy.
Arsenal's second string.
I'd be happy seeing that come out in a cup tie.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. So moving further forward, you're looking at a second string midfield for Arsenal. Where do we start here? Norgard isn't even in your second string, is he? Or is he?
Yeah, I'd say
he is.
I'd say he is.
Doesn't seem to feature.
He doesn't, but this is where I think the levels really. I mean, not to say the levels didn't drop off in terms of our backup defense, but I think in midfield there, we don't have like for likes. Like Norgard's not Zubamendi,
no,
right? But Norgard's a very experienced Premier League player that's helped Brentford team finish mid-table ish, for a couple seasons and been a captain. So Norgard's a good player. I'd put him as the backup 6 for us, strictly by role.
Yeah.
But Arteta has mixed it up in a way where, Marino and Rice have played together, or Marino, Zubamendi, and, the flexibility that they allow. Norgard hasn't had many minutes. Norgard's more, how do I say it? His profile is more acute.
Yeah.
He doesn't have the Zubamendi part of his game. He doesn't have the Rice part of his game. And to be honest, there's bits of Marino's game, especially in the box crashing element, that he doesn't have either. So he's very much a plain 6, but an experienced 6.
Yeah. And you need players like that at the club, and they can most certainly do a job. Yeah. Like, he was captain of Brentford. Yeah. And he didn't score a lot of goals, but he scored goals for them.
Mm-hmm.
So he's certainly a good player to have in this midfield. I think the level now goes up, though, doesn't it?
No.
Does it not?
Because Marino and his right is back up.
Yeah, sorry. Up from... at some point in this midfield, sorry, the way that I'm picturing it, is Eberechi Eze in this 3?
Yeah, and Eze
And that's when you're looking...
It's Odegaard's back up. That's how it's worked out so far.
Yeah, but the level from Norgard, like Norgard was saying, is a very good...
Yeah.
Basic, is that too harsh a word? Basic
6
football.
out of 10
6
midfielder.
Right, standard midfielder. Yeah. But then you're going to go, what, Marino and Eze as a 3?
That's when it gets a bit tastier.
Mate, I like Eberechi Eze. I know it isn't necessarily going as well as we thought it would. But I honestly thought he was going to shine for you. Like, absolutely burn bright. I really did. I thought we were going to be talking about him for England. I thought he was going to be winning you trophies. And he's in your second string team.
I think he still will.
I think he will as well, by the way. I think he's a wicked player.
I agree.
Yeah.
It hasn't gone to plan. But I don't think the attack and the tweaks in attack has gone to plan yet.
No.
Because every attacker, I think Martinelli and Trossard have exceeded expectations. Saka's been good, not good enough. Yeah. And then everyone else has been below par. Yeah. But we talk of Eze, and Eze's got a hat-trick in a North London derby. Yeah. So, if we go on to do what we should do, that makes him a legend in his own right, just because of that hat-trick.
It will be his derby. That is his derby. In the way that Harry Kane has a derby and Thierry Henry has a derby, he has a derby. But I think Eberechi Eze is one of the most gifted players in the league. Yeah. I really do. Yeah. And when he was playing for Crystal Palace, he was my favourite player to watch that didn't play for my club. Yeah. Loved him, right? Just the way he moved with the ball, gliding. Old-fashioned, brilliant. He's 65 million quid, guided Palace to an FA Cup, their first ever piece of silverware. He's in your second string. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. What are we talking about?
Yeah,
he's in your, he doesn't get in your first team.
We've come a long way, Rory.
This is probably the best player in the Premier League that doesn't start. This is the best footballer that doesn't start. There isn't a better footballer on any bench in the whole Premier League.
Fair enough.
There just isn't. Fair enough. He's absolutely masterful. And that midfield, Norgard, Marino, Eze, it has a little bit of everything. There's goals galore in it. There's plenty of tackles. There's plenty of physicality, plenty of experience, and then that element of silk that will take a team to somewhere, to a different plane. I just... Like, that midfield is so good.
Yeah, for a second string it is.
Yeah. I appreciate, though, I can understand why it's... The drop-off from your first...
Because when you compare now to other teams, that's where I'd say defensively, the quality is still there. In the midfield now, it drops. It sounds like there's a balance. Norgard is the 6, he will clean up. Marino's the box crashing 8. Yeah. Not so smooth, but then Eze's the 10, smooth, give him license to kill, right? So it sounds like there's a good balance there, but then I think when you put it up against other midfields in the league, that's where we're not talking top 5, 6, 7s anymore. We're talking mid-table-ish.
Yeah, I agree. Like, obviously, when we were doing this with the back line, we were saying a lot of these start from
majority, yeah.
That isn't quite the case. Eze does,
yeah.
Eze does, and I think Marino gets in a lot. Norgard, at the top table, Norgard doesn't.
No, I'd say Norgard probably 5 to 8 teams. Yeah. Which is still...
It's still a significant...
Yeah, he'd still be starting at Brentford if he was there. So that's one there.
Yeah, what about Marino? Marino's an interesting one. How many teams do you think Marino would start for?
Marino might be in and around the Norgard ballpark, if I'm honest with you.
Oh, really?
Probably.
I thought you were going to be a bit more
probably
complimentary.
If we're talking midfield, he hasn't had many great midfield performances. His best performances has come as the false 9. That's where he really gets the credit in the bank over the last couple of years. In terms of his midfield performances, he's had good ones, but he hasn't brought to the midfield what we've been waiting for from...
So is he that then? Do we need to redefine our vision of him?
I think he's a squad player.
Just a good
he can come on in a couple
positions.
Yeah. He can come on 6, 8. He can come on... He's been coming on, essentially playing 10 or left 10 or whatever you call it recently, or false 9. So... Great squad player. I think if we're talking squad players, he's one of the best in the league. Yeah. Without a shadow of a doubt, any club. For us, he's probably second behind Trossard. Yeah. But that shows how great our squad is because, we've got a couple great squad players. Marino is... You need a Marino in your side.
Of course you do. Could he start as a striker for other clubs, do you think? Like, could he be... Could he lead the line for Tottenham?
Nah.
No, I know that's a horrible vision for you, but just like removing everything around just strictly the question, is he a good enough centre forward to lead the line for a Premier League side? Could he lead the line at Sunderland? Could he lead the line even Chelsea?
I'd say you're talking mid-table and below. Those are the clubs that might give him a chance.
See, I think he's a better centre forward than Liam Delap.
Okay, well, I mean,
Do you know what
I mean, given the chances in the past year, given the chances in the past year, Mourinho's been our most efficient number 9 when he's been played there. So you saying over Delap, I get that. It's just that he's not a striker, is he?
Yeah.
So it depends what team he's going into and how they play.
Okay, so Norgard, Mourinho, and Eze feels very strong.
Strong, yeah.
And now, actually, weirdly up front, it's perhaps the Achilles heel, isn't it? Mm-hmm. Now we're looking at players that just aren't quite as good as the calibre of the midfield or the defence.
I think we've balanced out with the midfield here.
Do you think?
I think so.
Okay, so what is, in your opinion, the second string? So who's the second choice left winger?
Martinelli.
Okay, so, yeah.
Trossard's our first choice, in my opinion.
Trossard's a brilliant player. I'm possibly wrong here. I don't rate Martinelli that highly.
He's gone through his peaks and troughs. I understand it. This is his best season since 22-23, and this season he is a role player. He's a squad player. He's someone who can come off the bench. He can have an impact on the game, which he has done multiple times for us. He scored in 6 Champions League games in a row.
Prague, didn't he? He came on in Prague.
6 games in a row he scored in the Champions League. And the other night he got that assist.
Yeah.
Well, I say assist. It wasn't an assist in the end, but that was probably pass of the season for us, where he outside of the boot against Inter Milan, into Gyökeres. Gyökeres chests it down, it bounces off Saka, he finishes it. So Martinelli has found his place, in my opinion, as a squad player. Yeah. So I'm
and like we say, as a second string player, he's obviously as a second string. Madueke over the other side. Mm-hmm. What do you think of Madueke so far? Exciting on the ball, but no end product. Yeah, which is pretty much the reviews from Chelsea. Yeah. It's exactly the story that I would have.
Like on the ball, he gives something different to Saka. I think Saka's a lot more. I'm going to use the word mature on the ball, but it's not the right word to use. I think Saka's maturity on the ball leads to more efficiency in terms of GA, which Saka hasn't really, over the past year with injuries combined. Madueke on the ball, you look at him, he's onto the fullback. He's trying to go at him each and every time, and he's finding success. But when he gets into that final, position, whether to slot it bottom corner, find someone in the box, it always tends to be either just a bit behind the man or a bit wide of the post, too close to the keeper. Yeah. So for the price and the age, underwhelming.
And for being a second choice.
And then, but being a second choice, if you take the price away, I mean, I like it.
But he's an England international. Mm-hmm. He's an England international with proven Premier League pedigree, who undoubtedly, however frustrated you are or I've been in the past with Noni Madueke, an excellent footballer who starts for most. If there aren't many managers in the Premier League that would have Noni Madueke in their squad and not play him. Mm-hmm. He starts with basically everyone.
Apart from...
not the top tier.
Yeah, not the top.
Not the top tier.
But listen, I know Nwaneri's gone on loan now. But, if this was done a week ago, I'd say Nwaneri, even though he hasn't played there all season and Arteta hasn't used him there, if you're asking me to put a backup 11 out there, I'm putting Nwaneri on the right.
Really? This is the depth. Because now, do you know what I'm thinking in my head? There's something weird that's about to happen here. Someone big isn't going to be in your first or second team.
Yeah.
There is a big name that is actually going to be missing. Because I'm thinking now, right, I don't know who you're going to say for second choice, but there are 3 players and we've got 2 teams.
Yep. You're right.
Who is the second choice?
If we're going by, and I don't think we know the answer to this now I don't think we know Arteta's first choice right now because we haven't had our full Arsenal in attack. Judging by Gyökeres being first choice this season, I'd say it has to be Havertz second choice. Yeah. Even though Havertz has come off the bench once, this season, and Jesus has played.
So Havertz is in this game that we're playing. Havertz is the second choice.
Yeah.
And Gabriel Jesus is therefore not in either side for the game that we're playing.
You could...
Or Gyökeres is in...
You could then put Jesus on the right. Because I think Jesus is... A prime Jesus we're talking.
Yeah, he did it for City. He did it brilliantly for City.
I think he's a better winger. He's got something about him. So we could actually make it Jesus on the left, Havertz up top. It depends how you want to...
Is this the real answer, right? That perhaps people don't want to hear? And I know that we don't have a guarantee on this yet. We haven't seen enough. But is this actually the starting lineup and the second team. The starting lineup, Champions League final, is Kai Havertz. The starting lineup, Champions League final with Kai Havertz isn't there, is Gabriel Jesus. And Victor Gyökeres is actually not in either starting lineup.
But you know what people have failed to see with the Gyökeres thing? Everyone says Havertz is Arteta's guy, and I agree. We saw that. He was committed to him from the jump, and, he made sure there was a place for him in this team. He's pretty much done the same with Gyökeres.
Yeah, he has.
Jesus has been back a little while. Jesus has had interesting cameos off the bench. Listen, he hasn't set the world alight, but there was that game where he came on, he scored that goal, took it at his feet just on the edge of the box. Then I thought he might start the next game. He didn't. Gyökeres straight back in. So every time there's been a question mark about who starts up front, Gyökeres has been the man every single time. And let's not forget, going into the season, Havertz was fit.
Yeah.
Gyökeres started against Man United.
Yeah.
So,
although we didn't know, did we? We didn't know then what we know now.
We didn't, but I don't know what Arteta thinks, because Arteta speaks glowingly of Gyökeres the same way he spoke glowingly of Havertz.
Yeah, true.
So now, we're going to find that in the next few months. But Arteta's quite ruthless as well, If he was unhappy with Gyökeres or didn't believe in something coming out of, playing him all that time, I think Jesus would have come back in. I think Arteta's been very...
Yeah, you're right. He is ruthless. He is. It's an amazing second team there that we've just created. What do you reckon? Is that team stronger than Tottenham? Would that team finish above Tottenham?
With Arteta as manager, yeah.
Would it finish above Crystal Palace?
Yeah.
Would it finish above Manchester United?
Yeah. I mean, we haven't seen nothing new of United. I just thought of Amorim straight away, but he's gone, so...
It would. Would it finish above Newcastle? Yeah.
Yeah. I think, again, as Arteta as manager, the tactics, the way he sets up and the way they drum along to his pattern, I think, yeah.
I'm thinking here.
I think our second team in this league is in a top 4 battle.
I agree.
Top 4, top 5 battle.
I agree. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, if that doesn't calm the nerves of Arsenal fans, this video should be presented as some sort of some sort of therapy.
Therapy.
Yeah. It's unbelievable. It's an unbelievable team. Manchester City would probably finish above it. Liverpool could. Mm-hmm. Chelsea should, but wouldn't. Aston Villa could. The rest don't.
Yeah, it's a fight for the rest.
The rest don't. Absolutely unbelievable. Turkish an honour, as always.
Pleasure.
Great insight. Thank you so much to everybody for watching this video. Make sure that you click the link in the description below. You will find a link to Turkish's YouTube channel. They're fantastic content.
Thank you.
Make sure that you go and check it out. Let us know your thoughts on this video in the comments section below. And we'll see you all in a bit. Ta-da.